What's up, guys? I'm gonna let people get on. So this is a live stream. I'm gonna do, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, if I just wanted to do a live stream and talk to everybody, or make a video. And I think I'm just gonna do both. What's up, man? Wait for some people to get on. Just finished a live stream. Yeah, I finished the book. You read the title? I think I'm gonna set up my mic for this. Give me 1 sec. This might take a minute. What's up? Good afternoon. I don't really do live streams too much, huh? Set this up. So I understand people are going to be tuning into this live stream even after I'm off. So if this isn't your thing, if you don't like the vertical and all that, I'm going to make like a nicer type video and upload that if that's what you like better. I'm going to just set up my mic real quick. So just out of curiosity, can you guys hear me very well right now? What's the audio quality like right now? Is it okay? I mean, you can hear me, but it's not like good quality. It's good quality. You can hear me. Good quality. Man, if it's good quality without, let's hear it. Let's see. Good morning, sunshine. Uh-oh, who's that? Okay, let me set up this mic. You get a shot of my lips while I do this. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yeah, no, sound cut out. All right, you guys can probably hear me, right? Back on. So just out of curiosity, you guys can hear me way better now than you did before I put the mic in, right? Hello, 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 hello. It's probably way better now than it was before I put the mic on, right? Just curious. Way better. Way better. So just out of curiosity, how many people that are on right now have read the book or got the audiobook? Because I just finished it last night. I procrastinated a bit because I didn't pre-order the book. I just figured, oh, I'll get it later because they announced it, I think, in like over the summer. And I realized, oh shoot, October crept up quick. So I was like, well, the book is released. I don't really want to drive out and go get it and then read it slowly. I kind of like want to hear the audio version now. And I was glad about the audio version because, you know, there's so many surprises in the audio. So this one, you know, Julia Roberts reads it to you and Riley reads a lot of it actually. And actually in the audiobook, they have excerpts of Lisa, because what she did, they actually have Lisa's audio because I guess, you know, she didn't like really write things down. She just got a tape recorder or whatever, or maybe it was like an iPhone notes or something like that. And she just basically did this through audio and she just recorded everything. And before she actually started to get things down, she asked Riley, her daughter, her oldest, to help her with it because, you know, after Ben died, she felt like she was too distraught, and her past, she would look at it, it'd be like too muddy, too depressing, and she felt like that wasn't an accurate representation of her whole life. So she would just have, she asked Riley just to do it, and that way it would be Riley's perspective. But then Lisa unexpectedly died, so Riley went through all Lisa's tapes and wrote it down just as Lisa spoke it. And that's how we have this book. And Riley fills in the things that Lisa didn't do. Like there's 10 years, like 1996 to 2006, to where Lisa didn't do much, but that was like one of the happiest times in her life. Like she didn't do much of the recording, like talking about her day-to-day stuff, which was a little disappointing because we don't get a lot of insight on what Lisa was thinking on like a day-to-day basis during her first album and all her recording process and stuff. So that was a bit disappointing, but like Riley fills in the gaps. Julia Roberts narrates the whole thing for the audiobook, and then Riley fills in some of her perspective on what happened. And I'm glad I got the audiobook, but I'm still going to get the actual book because, you know, I like the hard copy. I got a ton of Elvis stuff. This isn't even my whole Elvis collection. So Tracy says, I listened to the audiobook on the road, heartbreaking, disgraceful. Priscilla to pretend that she's not an antagonist, an enabler. Yeah, I think two women that are not going to be happy about this book is Priscilla and Ginger. Because she said some bad things about Priscilla. True things, you know. Some things I was like so surprised about. She says, I personally don't like Priscilla anymore. Well, the thing is, I'm kind of happy in a sense because like whenever I saw Parker as a kid, I didn't know anything. I didn't read any books or anything. I would just see him on video, and I just didn't like him. But, you know, Priscilla, I didn't really know much about, you know, but then when I started reading books on her, I developed a negative opinion on her. I thought she always was like cold toward Elvis and never really, I just felt like she never really loved him. She just like wanted the name, wanted the Presley baby, all that stuff. And then, you know, I read the book Child Bride, and a lot of people were like, yep, right on, I knew it this whole time. And other people were like, no, that's not true, that's not true. But the people who love and support Priscilla, what are you going to do when you hear actual Lisa's words of her life? Yeah, she loved her mom and they made up and stuff like that, but some messed up stuff. And so I went through every single chapter when I was listening to it. I listened to it in 2 days. It's like the audiobook is just about 6 hours long. And so I took like 4 or 5 pages of notes, and because I didn't want to forget certain stuff. And so that's what I'm going to be going through with you guys today. And then we're going to comment on it. But so overall, like a lot of people say it's depressing. It's a sad book. It's sad because, like, you know, I really think, you know, Lisa died last year, and I just really, like, she was like so pretty, and I think she had a lot of talent, and, you know, she was just messed up because Elvis, her dad, died so early, and, you know, she was 9, and then her mom shipped her off into different schools to try to, like, honestly, it seemed like Priscilla, and this is how Lisa explains it, like Priscilla basically wanted to pursue her own life and her own career, and Lisa was sort of in the way. Yeah, Priscilla loved Lisa, but, you know, some people, they're more concerned about themselves and their own, their celebrity. And Priscilla, after Elvis died, was really into, like, you know, she tried to become a model. She wanted to get into acting. She wanted to use her time with Elvis for her own gain, which, you know, makes sense. Okay, if you can do something, you know. But it was like at the expense of Lisa, because Lisa was so distraught, and her whole world stopped because she visited her mom in LA, and then she would come back to Memphis. Lisa says she liked being at Memphis the most. That's where she felt the most sense of home and security. She said her dad loved her very much. But when her dad died, her dad didn't just die. It's like that part of her life was gone. And Lisa says that Priscilla, was like, if you don't do this, this, and this, you're not going back to Memphis. Because even after Elvis died, Lisa still wanted to go back to Memphis because she liked the calmness and the Southern hospitality, so to speak. She liked her life there. I'm looking at you guys' comments. It's like Lisa was in the way. Yeah, basically. So Lisa felt like pushed off at this school. She went here. Priscilla prioritized her boyfriends over her. I assume that Priscilla probably got an advanced copy of this book and didn't like it, but I just saw a few clips of Priscilla speaking with Riley in her little book tour that she's doing. Honestly, I don't know how, maybe they feel like, I don't know how any of them really like Priscilla. Riley, I don't know how she, even after Lisa died, she, took her to court. Now she wasn't going to be buried there. Now she is going to be buried there. This isn't supposed to be about Priscilla, but like while we're on the topic, Lisa didn't like her for a long time. And then they kind of made amends because, she's your family member. But the stuff that is in this book about Mike Edwards, I'm going to say it and give a ton of detail. So if you haven't if you haven't listened to the audiobook or read the book and you want it to be all a surprise, don't listen to this. Just tune off right now because I'm really going to reveal a lot of stuff. I'm going to add my own insight and what I think about this, but I went through every single chapter and put down what I thought was interesting. And so I'm going to read it off to you. I just want to get a little warmed up here and let as many people get on as they're going to get on. And bye, thanks. Okay, see ya. It is a spoiler. It's going to be my review, so. Give me a thumbs up to the people who are on right now if you've read this book so far. Thumbs down if you haven't. 75 people on right at this moment. First of all, give the stream a thumbs up. It'll help go to a wider audience. And in a minute or two, I'm going to get into chapter by chapter, my review, everything that I thought was interesting about this audiobook. And I'm just so happy that we actually have it documented. Elvis, Larry Geller, in this book, I found out, Larry Geller, and I read this a long, long time ago. Don't spoil me, I just began. Well, this is a live stream review of the book, so. So Larry Geller says that Elvis wanted to do, and he was starting autobiography, but we haven't, I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if he got much down, but that would have been interesting. So many people, they don't have an autobiography, Michael Jackson, all these people, but thankfully we have Lisa's. Here in Germany, we'll get it in November. Yeah, so that's quite a ways away. Deborah, that's all right. She tried to get rid of her by falling off a horse. Just finished it. Robin. I still didn't catch the interview she did with Oprah. And okay, on a side note, before I get into it, so Donald Trump was at a rally the other day, and he plays Elvis music. He likes Elvis a lot, and I think it's cool that he likes Elvis. And I think it's also cool that he'll have thousands of people at his rally, and they'll play Elvis, maybe at the beginning or the end, and all those people kind of get to see an Elvis concert. And people were on Instagram like, most of the people thought it was awesome. But some people like, how dare you? Don't mix up politics and Elvis. And I'm not mixing it. It's just like Elvis do. Say if Biden or Kamala did something like Elvis, or we're dancing to Elvis music, that would be newsworthy. So I don't just post pictures of Elvis or videos of Elvis. I post people liking Elvis, like a celebrity wearing a Elvis shirt or stuff like that. But what I was saying was I didn't see the Oprah interview with Riley, and I haven't seen that yet. But actually, Oprah endorsed Kamala on Graceland's lawn, and I posted that as well. Trump uses American trilogy yesterday. Yeah, I noticed he plays Suspicious Minds, If I Can Dream. I would post both. Like if both parties did it. Yeah, but once in a while, if Trump does it, I'll, post about it. It's not being political. It's just news. It's Elvis news. Hi, David. Like your hair. Thanks. Some people love it and other people troll it. It's just basically, it's like a pompadour, I guess, or a mohawk. And I just shaved the sides. I don't know about the copyright. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. All right, guys, shoot, I've already been on 20 minutes, haven't got into this. Hang on 1 second. Let me get up. I'll be right back. And then I'm going to get into this live stream. Get into the actual review. 1 second. All right, I'm back. This thing's gonna take a while, I know. So I just had to do something really quick. Let me read some of your comment. Trump saw Elvis in concert. Yep. How's the new book? I'm thinking about picking it up. Well, this is the review of the book. So I'm going to be talking about it chapter by chapter. Tyson, hey, what's up, man? Hey, how's it going? Nice to catch you on live, but I'll have to go soon because my wife is almost done with her hair appointment. Okay, that's fine. You can come back to this video, but I think what I'm going to do is after this, I'm going to actually make a nice little video where it's edited and put it in a bunch of clips and stuff. All right, guys. So I'm going to go through my notes just as I wrote them, as I was listening to it. So, chapter 1. One thing that I found weird, and if you haven't listened to it, if you haven't read the book, I mean, I want you to watch, but obviously there's so much in this book that what I think is interesting may not be something you think, but I'm going to reveal a lot of stuff here. So, here's your warning. All right, so chapter 1, one thing that I didn't like that Riley did, because you got Julia Roberts narrating everything that Lisa said, everything that Lisa wanted in the book. Julia Roberts speaks. But Riley, would add in her perspective on things. And when Riley was talking, she would call Elvis, she would never call him Lisa. She would never call him my grandpa. She would call him Elvis or Lisa's dad or my mom's dad. And I don't know why she would do that. I was honestly irritated when Riley would call Elvis. She would refer to him not as grandpa, but as Lisa's father or Elvis did this, or you know, anything. She never called him grandpa. And I'm like, why? That's kind of random. Maybe it was like a disconnection there. I have no idea. I mean, if Elvis was my grandpa, I'd be like, that's my grandpa. You know what I mean? But anyway, another thing she mentioned was that Lisa liked Elton John, and she would want records of Elton John, and she got them for Christmas. And Elvis is really jealous about it. Like, who's this Elton John guy? And I actually made a video about this, and some people, most all comments are positive, but some people are like, no, quit making the stuff up. Elvis would never be jealous. But once again, it's proven right. Lisa actually said that Elvis was a little jealous about her liking Elton John. And then she says not too long after that, Elvis met Elton John to see, like, who is this guy? And I think this was in the summer tour in 1976. So this was probably, this instant was probably Christmas 1975. Another thing is Lisa does not speak fondly of Vernon. Not that she didn't like him, but she looks, Vernon was like, just like an authority figure. She wasn't even sad really when Vernon died. Like, she didn't feel like a sadness, which, you know, she was, she would have been 11 because Vernon died in 1979. And Vernon was basically, do this, don't do this. Maybe he was a little cold toward her, but, you know, that's one of the things I thought was interesting. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I guess I will. This was sort of interesting, just talking about Elvis's personality. So Lisa would be in the neighborhood. Well, she wouldn't really be in the neighborhood. She'd just be at her house in her big lawn playing. And she'd have some neighborhood kids over. Well, one of the kids said to Lisa, he thinks he's the king of everything. Like, talking about Elvis, her dad, just messing with her, trolling her a bit. And Lisa, and Lisa told Elvis, and Elvis asked, where does this girl live? And so Lisa says that Elvis went and talked to this girl, so she's probably like 10 years old. And I'm thinking in my head, like, is he gonna like yell at her or something? But Lisa says that Elvis actually was like talking to her and being kind to her and smiling at her, like, I guess trying to win her over a bit. And then they took pics, Elvis and this little girl who was bad-mouthing him. And so Elvis basically made a fan out of her. So he didn't go over there to be like, what do you mean by all that? He actually went over there and was real sweet and kind to her and won the little girl over. So I thought that was kind of funny. Another thing, and Lisa mentioned this a few times in the book, but after Elvis died, Lisa, Ben, Riley, the twins and stuff, they would go over to Graceland, and nobody knew about it. Lisa and all them would like stay the night in Elvis's bed, and you'll find out later in the book that Lisa did this because like she just missed her dad. So she would stay upstairs in Elvis's room, and like tours were going on, and nobody knew that Lisa was actually upstairs. And so they would have like security, have the maids bring up food to them. And I guess if you're in the tour and you were in like the foyer or the kitchen or the living room, you know, if you saw food going upstairs, you probably would wonder, but that was actually Lisa was up there. Lisa and her kids were up there. So that was pretty interesting. So that's some of the things of chapter 1 that I like. And she says, most of the time she calls Priscilla by her name too. Yeah, I wrote that down too. I didn't remember that. I wrote it down, but I didn't remember that she did that, so I didn't add that in. But that is true, I guess. She calls her grandma Priscilla. So she calls them Elvis and Priscilla, not Grandpa and Grandma. And I don't think that Riley did that for clarity, so we knew who she was talking about. I think it was just kind of weird. Like, it irritated me. What else? So I'm about to go into chapter 1, or chapter 2. But you guys are saying so much. She calls her dad Danny. I've heard her call Call him her dad a lot. All right, let's go into chapter 2. Who wants me to go into chapter 2? I think there's like 6 chapters in this book. Give me a thumbs up if you want me to keep going. Give me a thumbs down if you want me to just end the live stream right now. Ooh, a lot of thumbs down. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody who's on the stream right now, please do me a favor and hit the like button. No, go on. Go on. I knew you guys were going to give me a thumbs up. I'm just messing around. But hit the like button because it'll help more people see this live stream. We'll get hundreds of people on. I remember when Lisa died, and I got to watch things that I say because YouTube doesn't like certain words. But we're about to get into some graphic stuff. No, don't just give me a thumbs up. Well, okay, I did ask for it, but hit the like button on the stream. When I remember last year, January last year, when Lisa went to another dimension, I'll say that, I did a live stream and like 1,000 people were on. Hi, David, go on with 1,000 people. It's like sitting there and you got like a huge audience, but they're not seen. I can't see them. I can't see you guys, but you can see me. Thumbs up means keep going on. Okay. So once again, for some of you who are just joining now, and maybe if you don't go back and rewatch this, I'm going to get the physical copy. I just listened to the audiobook, but I'm actually so glad that we actually have Lisa's thoughts and feelings on record. Man, can you imagine if Elvis would have wrote an autobiography? Like this right here, If I Can Dream, this was by Larry Geller, and Larry says that Elvis was working on an autobiography. Maybe he thought about it. There's a TikTok video showing her calling. Didn't finish. All right, okay, let's keep going. So in the actual audiobook, a lot of the chapters open and close with Lisa talking. Because like I said, Lisa, she didn't just write everything down. She got a tape recorder or maybe an iPhone on voice and voice memos, and she actually recorded all of her thoughts. And Riley asked her to help her with her autobiography because when she was really serious about doing it, that was after Ben passed away. I'll put it that way. And she felt like she was so depressed that she didn't think she could really do an accurate job of gathering her thoughts because she just looked at her past as so like depressing and sad. So she asked Riley to help her with her audiobook, with her memoir, and that's why we have a bunch of these chapters in the audiobook of Lisa maybe doing a little intro, like a 30-second, 20-second intro, and maybe an outro about just some of her thoughts. And Riley actually, after Lisa went to another dimension, Riley just sat on her bed, it says in the book, with like all Lisa's tapes and just listened to them. And one, she said it was a very emotional experience for her, but she also, all the words, she would just write down. And in the audiobook, Julia Roberts is reading them. So that's what we have. So she begins chapter 2, Lisa does, with saying that so this was like 1976, 1977. She said she was always concerned about her dad dying because she started to notice him sick a lot, as she describes it. Like his stomach was getting bigger. She said one time she was like walking from her bedroom into the hallway and his door was open and she saw him laying on the bed and like his stomach was really big, she said. And she would notice him like swaying back and forth and like, being really wobbly and like holding himself up on the wall or something. And it's really sad to see because it's like, not to sound weird, but I think you guys can identify with this. It's like, I love Elvis. I watched, like, when I was a little kid, I came across my first Elvis video, and I think it was This is the first one I remember I watched one night with you. It was a VHS tape. It was the first sit-down show. And I put it in there one time and I was like, whoa, man, this guy's charisma, this guy's singing ability. I was only like 6 years old. And then you go throughout your whole life, like, that's where the journey starts. You like read about Elvis, listen to him, and it's kind of weird, I guess, for an outsider, but that's what we're into. And so it's really sad to hear these stories, but the book, to me, I've heard people say, oh, it's such a depressing thing. And I guess, yeah, you could look at it like that, but I look at it like a very interesting review of her life. So she noticed Elvis swaying a lot. So this is like 76, 77. She said, this is something I don't have written down, but I remember she said like Elvis would really be in his room a lot and Lisa would be out playing. And we all know the stories about Lisa basically acting like the boss, the queen of the grounds. And like, if you don't do this, my dad will fire you. I'll tell him to fire you. Make me this, do this. She said it was like really magical how she would break something and like in an hour or two, or she'd wake up and that would be like fixed already. She said there was always food being cooked there at Graceland, and she said like Elvis would be in his room a lot, but then she'd get summoned to Elvis's room. So she'd go in there kind of like not knowing, am I in trouble or what? So Lisa's like 6, 7, 8, 9 years old when these are going on. And Elvis would just wanna kind of see her, and he'd just like look at her and talk to her and what are you up to, what have you been doing, and stuff like that. And she said like her whole world like really revolved around pleasing her dad, and she never wanted to make her dad mad at her, angry at her. There's a few times where Lisa would make her dad mad, and Elvis would like scold her or reprimand her, and she just felt so crushed, Lisa being like 7 or 8. And I assume that's probably because like everybody looked at Elvis like a god, everybody that worked for him, all of his friends. And also it's because, they were divorced. Priscilla and Elvis were divorced at such a young age. And she didn't see her dad all the time. She saw her dad less than half the time, if you'd probably add it up. And so I think that made her want to really please her dad even more. She says she knew her dad loved her, and she said she loved seeing the concerts. Like, this is all coming back to me. This is not in the notes. She loved her dad concerts and the electricity of the concerts. And I assume she was probably like 4 or 5 when she started to be able to realize what was going on. So this is probably 73, 74. And let me continue to go on. Everybody on the stream right now, I'm glad you're listening. I'm happy that you're listening, and please hit the like button. When you hit the like button, I guess that tells YouTube algorithm to like show this live stream to other people, and we get a bunch of people on here. Anyway, that's the one thing I ask you to do for me. So, okay, let me stop. Can everybody hear me okay? Can everybody hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I got a mic on, and it should be good quality. Give me a thumbs up. Kim says, yes, I can hear you. Hey, David, what's up? Oh, what is your opinion about Ginger Alden's post, basically about Lisa's memoir? I haven't read it, but I'm actually going to get to that, and I think you guys are going to be really surprised. All right, so let me keep going. You guys can all hear me great. I would assume so, because I got this mic on. So, and those of you who are on right now, not to keep dithering, but not everybody wants a live stream, and this is kind of like I'm like all over the place. I'm gonna make a video after this probably, and be a nice clean video with edits and photos and all that stuff. But so look for that as well. So we're getting to, it's funny you bring that up because that's my next note. She said that nobody liked Ginger. So Ginger was like, I think 19, she was like 20, 21 when Elvis was dating her. Elvis met her in, I believe it was November 1976. Elvis was like really head over heels for her. And all reports say that Ginger, wasn't like in awe of Elvis. She didn't, you know, totally wait on Elvis hand and foot like other girlfriends, like say Ginger, or like say Linda Thompson. Lisa doesn't speak much about Ginger, or she doesn't speak much about Linda Thompson in this book, but I do believe a few times she mentioned her and they were all positive, like she liked her and stuff. So she says that nobody liked Ginger. So by nobody, I'm assuming Vernon. I know he didn't. Vernon, you could find out about that from the book The Death of Elvis, which I recommend for everybody to read. The Death of Elvis, right here. This is the holy grail of Elvis books. If you want to know about The Death of Elvis, read The Death of Elvis. The other books, haven't read too many, but this gives such detail about the autopsy, how Elvis was found, all that. And I made other videos, so I don't have to get into it right now. But, oh boy, hang on, let me fix this for 1 second. Give me a sec. Stay. All right. So yeah, she says nobody liked Ginger, and I'm going to tell you why. This is Lisa's words. Don't mean to swallow on camera. So she says, Lisa says that she could tell that Ginger did not love Elvis at all. She doesn't really say why she felt that way, but she says that she could tell Ginger didn't like Elvis at all. Didn't love Elvis at all. And there's a few things I know, like she didn't always want to, like I said, she wasn't like other girlfriends, and Elvis wanted that. Elvis was kind of, I hate the word, but like needy. Like he wanted a woman with him all the time for companionship, and he really liked her. And Elvis would get very offended when she wouldn't go on tour with him all the time. There are a lot of reports that said that Elvis was getting ready to dump her for the August tour, 1977. You know, did Elvis really propose to her? Yeah, I think he probably did. I mean, we have the ring, and that ring the diamond was taken from the TCB ring, I believe. A lot of people were saying no, and it's probably, I think that Elvis probably, I mean, there were reports that says that he wanted to have a kid, which he wanted to have a son, and maybe he thought Ginger would be the one, but Ginger was being kind of flaky with him and not going on tour, not being around him all the time, didn't want to stay at Graceland all day long. He'd wake up and she wouldn't be there, and that would really mess with him. So I'm assuming Lisa was kind of referring to some of those instances. So Lisa says that it appeared to her that she didn't love him at all. And she says, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. So like I said, if you guys haven't read this book, you may not, I hate to say it, but you may not really want to stay tuned in. So Lisa says that she actually, you know, she was there the morning Elvis died, or I guess he probably died in the morning, but the commotion was in the afternoon. I think he was pronounced dead at 3:30 p.m. And so Lisa was there, and gosh, I don't know what time the ambulance came, I forget, but I'm guessing it was like 12 or 1. So she says that she woke up that morning and there was a commotion. But like she's like, there was always crazy stuff happening when I woke up. But she said this was like, she knew something was wrong. People were like, it was chaotic. And she got up, went into the hallway, went into her dad's bedroom. She saw Elvis in the bathroom. I don't remember her saying what she saw, but she knew it wasn't good. She wanted to go get closer to Elvis, and she started screaming, and somebody grabbed her. I don't know if she said it was Ginger or Joe Esposito. And so they pulled her away, and she said she was kind of glad that she was pulled away because she didn't want to see her dad's face, like retrospectively. So then she fast forwards to when she was in the dining room, and we all know, so if you walk into Graceland, you're in the foyer. To the right is the living room. To the left is the dining room, you know, with the dinner table and the chandelier, and then you go into the kitchen, and then you got the stairs in front of you. So Lisa says that she was in the dining room, and she saw Elvis go down the stairs and come out the front door. He was in a stretcher. She says that she didn't see his face. His face was like covered up maybe by a blanket or something, but people were like holding her back. and she wanted to get close to Elvis. And excuse me, she said she saw Elvis's pajamas, and she said she saw Elvis's pajamas. That's all I remember. So that was quite an experience for her. And she said after the ambulance left, like, she didn't know what to do with herself. She knew it wasn't good, and so she just went outside and kind of played. And after she found out Elvis died and Priscilla got back, which I think was the next day, she got back to Memphis, Priscilla scolded her for being out on the carts in the yard playing, because she said, she just said that Priscilla scolded her and get off these carts and da 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 da. And Lisa, like, looking back, she's like, well, I guess maybe my mom yelled at me because she was thinking, like, that's not really a good look. You're out playing and your dad died and the fans are mourning outside, and maybe it doesn't look right. Maybe that was true, but this is where you start to get into what Lisa describes as the coldness that her mom gave her. She didn't like her mom, and you're gonna find out why. And you know, I did reviews on the book Child Bride, and like I said, most you guys' comments are positive, but others are like, how dare you? You're just a Priscilla hater. You just talk bad about Priscilla because Linda Thompson likes your page, and so that's why you're just pandering to, like, come on, please. I'm glad that Lisa brought this up, so you guys can't say it's just, so some of you guys can't say, oh, is this your opinion? No, you're just hating, blah, blah, blah. We actually have Lisa's words. So anyway, most of you guys are positive. What's good, my friend? What's up, man? Why didn't you get the paperback? Because, like I said earlier, I procrastinated a bit. Like, when I first found out about the book coming out, you know, I was really excited, but I think it was like July or August, and oh, get your, pre-order it. And I'm like, I'll get it later. I'll do it later. You know, I kind of procrastinate a bit. But then all of a sudden it's October. I'm like, oh shoot, I haven't got the book. And it was released, and some things happened in my life, and I was like so busy with some crazy things some of you know about. And then I'm like, whoa, the book is released. I don't really want to go out now and like go to the store and buy it. Let me get the audiobook. I'll get it right in my iPhone right away, and I'll listen to it that way, because I wanted to get both the physical copy, because I like the actual physical copy, but the audiobook was going to be cool because I knew that Riley was narrating it. Julia Roberts narrates Lisa's part, and then Riley adds in her part. So I'm still going to get the actual book. I just figured I can just hurry up and find out the details about this book, and I'll do it a lot quicker. The audiobook is just under 6 hours. I love the audiobook, someone says, and I agree. I'm glad I listened to it. So then Lisa also says something interesting, which is also noted in the book, The Death of Elvis. And a lot of, some people were very surprised, and Vernon started to think they were like conspiracy theories, which is talked about in the book, The Death of Elvis. Conspiracy theories like, was his son, gosh, I don't want to say the wrong words on YouTube, because there's like, the computer like picks up on certain words, but Vernon was like worried that Elvis was like unalived intentionally, or something happened to him, or there was some like foul play. Lisa mentions that Ginger, not saying Ginger had something to do with that, I'm just saying that Lisa thought it was very odd that Ginger, the morning that Elvis died, was somehow, she had enough time to do her hair and makeup, and she says that Ginger was dressed to the nines. And this isn't new information, but Lisa noted she was 7 years old. This was August. She was 7.5. She's thinking to herself, why is Ginger like dressed up all glamorous? Like, how did you have time? It's been chaos ever since I woke up, she's thinking. All right, so that's, I believe, chapter 1 and 2. She said people grabbed a lot of things from Graceland, and eventually Vernon closed off Elvis's upstairs, won't let anybody go up there. Elvis is the GOAT. Yes, he is the GOAT. If you want me to keep going, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you want me to keep going. And actually, for the 120 people that are on right now, please hit the like button. When you hit the like button, it will expand the reach of this live stream, and more people will be able to see it. All the thumbs down. You guys want me to wrap it up? You guys want me to end the live? I understand. All right, guys. Well, I'll end it here since I got so many thumbs down. No, I'm just kidding. Awesome channel. Thanks. I'm glad you like it. And man, I was like, no. Yeah, I was just joking. And guys, I've made like hundreds of Elvis videos, and they're really timeless, you know, because in the sense that like they're of Elvis's life. So it's not like you know, the news. If you follow the news, that's like old news. Elvis news is still relevant. So go through my old videos, and gosh, I spent hours and hours making videos, and I have a few hundred. So just, man, scroll through my page, I have a playlist set up, and check out all the videos I have. I have like different stories, Gem of the Weeks, where it's like I highlight different Elvis songs and him hitting certain notes in the studio or on stage, all tons of stuff. I was at Lisa's memorial and I recorded it. I was at Graceland. A ton of good stuff. Thanks to everybody for hitting the like button. Man, it went up fast. Let me connect. Let me read some of your stuff. No, don't stop. Even that I read the book. Great job with your videos. Always enjoyed them. I'm glad. Sometimes, if you just let me take 1 second, like, I really like your guys' comments on my videos, and like some people, man, I'm like touched in a way. Like some of you guys say that you actually, like, before you go to bed, you'll anticipate looking on my channel to see if I did a video, and you'll watch it before you go to bed, like that much. I'm like, wow, that's nice. I have a window right out here in case you guys wonder what I'm looking at. But anyway, let me keep going. So Lisa was thinking after her dad died that she's like, he's dead and now I'm stuck with her, meaning her mom, Priscilla. And then this is where she starts to go into life with her mom, because her dad was gone. And that was a big change for her. Because like I said, it wasn't just that her dad was gone. It was her whole life was gone, like playing outside all day. She says that she was like, she said she would, this is also something I didn't write down, but it comes to mind. She says that she would like go down to the gates. Oh, she says that she would be like driving in a go-kart and she would like cuss at the fans like, F you. Or maybe she didn't say that, but she would like say curse words just to mess with them. But sometimes she would like get their cameras and the fans would be like, hey, take a picture of Elvis for me. So she'd go inside, and I think they would pay her, and she would take the money, but she would go inside and like take a picture of like the wall or something like that, and then like give it back to them, which I thought was kind of funny. All right, let me get back to it. She says that she was stuck with her mom after her dad died. She felt stuck. Again, Riley, throughout the whole audiobook, she just called Elvis. She never called him like grandpa. She would always call him like my mom's dad or something like that, which was like, honestly, I was irritated with whenever I heard it. I kind of cringed. Then she talks about her mom always being focusing on her, and Lisa felt like caught in the middle. She felt like she was just being like pushed off to, you know, different schools, and Priscilla, like, you know, it looks like she didn't know how to handle her, and she would just have this person take care of her, this organization take care of Lisa. And she says, you know, she was at so many different schools, and like if Priscilla was dating a French guy, Priscilla would make Lisa learn French to like impress her boyfriend, and just a lot of things I shake my head at. And then we get to her talking about Scientology, and she speaks well of Scientology. In the book, she doesn't really talk about leaving it, even though she did, and Riley actually brings that up. She says that like after meeting John Travolta was like telling Priscilla like, Scientology will give you power. And so she started getting into Scientology, and she says she actually liked it because she felt like she had a community there. She felt like, as a kid, like she was going from different schools. Half of her family was gone, half of her life was gone. So when she finally, and she was at, like I said, different schools, but when she got to Scientology, and there were other like rich kids there, and she was able to make friends, and she felt like a good sense of community, and she felt good about it. Later on, she dropped it, which I'll bring up why she did. And like I said here, I wrote down that she felt like her mom would just drop her off. Go to this school. You go to this school. And then Lisa later said in retrospect, like, if somebody would have like just sat me down and told me the purpose of school, the point of school, like, hey, go here, learn something, you can use this in the future someday. Maybe I would have put a little more effort into it, but she just like didn't even know what she was doing. She was just go here, go there. These people take care of you, da 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 da. And so basically she said she felt like her mom's trophy. And she said everything was for show. Everything was for show. Meaning Priscilla would show off Lisa. Priscilla would basically try to entertain and impress other people constantly. And Lisa felt caught in the middle. She felt like she had no stability. She felt like she had no family. She didn't feel cared about by her mom. She said Lisa, as like a young teen, would have maybe 11, 12 years old too. She'd have like dreams of Elvis. And she felt like these weren't just dreams. She felt like this was Elvis connecting with her. She felt, you have some dreams that like, you have a dream of a person that feels like so real. Well, she thought these dreams were like Elvis's spirit actually communicating with her and stuff like that. I didn't take many notes about it, and I don't really remember a lot of what she said about that, but she doesn't really go into much detail. And then we get into chapter 3. And this is when Lisa, she says she felt she was always shipped off. This is where she got into, I've been saying a lot of bad words that YouTube doesn't like on here. So I'm going to spell it. D-R-U-G-S. D-R-U-G-S. Okay, she started getting into that. She would sniff, snort. She would do, and if you guys haven't read this book, you probably don't want to keep listening, even though I want you here. She would smoke weed, sniff coke, all that stuff. She wouldn't do, gosh, I don't know if I should say these words. She wouldn't do heroin. She didn't do that. And this stuff, man, this is the stuff that, this is the heavy stuff. This is probably the heaviest stuff of the whole book. So Priscilla dated Mike Edwards, and Lisa says that she was molested by Mike multiple times. This was a guy that Priscilla was dating. He was an actor, I believe, and she got with him, and she says that he would go into her room. I think she was like 10, 11, 12, maybe 13, and that Mike would, Priscilla's boyfriend, would go into her room and start touching her, you know where. And Lisa, if she acted like, she would learn to pretend that she was awake, because if he was awake, if he thought she was awake, she would, she learned that if she pretended like she was awake, even though she was like maybe a lot of times awake the whole time, Mike would like kind of leave and stop, but Mike would touch her in her, and he would say, she said he would touch her chest, he would touch her between her legs, and he would say, I'm going to teach you what's going to happen to you when you get older. Or in other words, when you're in adult relationships. So Lisa obviously didn't like this, and she She didn't act, from the book, she didn't say that she was too traumatized by it. I mean, I assume she probably was, but I'm just saying that in the book she didn't really overly emphasize that this was crazy traumatic, because like Mike Edwards was there for a long time in her life, or maybe a few years. I gotta look it up, but she lived with Mike for a long time, and she said I believe she felt bad for Mike. She said, I forget why, but she would tell her mom, and her mom basically, like, it seemed like didn't want to believe it was happening. And there's a few times that like Priscilla would just like make him apologize. And so when he would apologize to her, Lisa says, he'd be like, well, that's just how they teach kids. He was from another country. I'm thinking maybe England. I could be wrong. But he would tell her, well, like, that's just how back from my country, we teach kids how to, when they get older, they're going to do this and that, which, man, it sounds even worse when I like actually read it back to you guys. And man, I'm going to get real down and dirty here with this, but this is what's in the book. She said that Mike Edwards would touch her, and she thinks, and would like have his back, and would tell Lisa not to look at him, because Lisa thinks that Mike Edwards was actually pleasuring himself while he was doing this. Priscilla's boyfriend, Mike Edwards. And I'm thinking, like, as I'm listening to this, I'm like, man, if Elvis were alive and knew this was being done to his daughter, what would he do? He would be, I don't know if I want to say this word on YouTube, but he would be unalived, I'm guessing. Elvis would not just make Mike Edwards apologize. So, you Priscilla lovers out there, I think you maybe should question your love for Priscilla. So, that's pretty messed up, isn't it? Very messed up. He's American. I don't know, it seemed like she was saying that he said, this is how back in my country we taught kids. Seems very weird. Rainbow, he admitted this in his book. Oops, hang on a minute. I'm trying to read all your comments. Hang on, let me put this down. He admitted in his book that he had a crush on Lisa and called her beloved. Man. So that was Priscilla's boyfriend. All right, shall I go on? She said it was clear that Priscilla did not want her there, meaning Lisa felt that her mom did not want her there. Can you imagine what Lisa, and then Lisa gets into things later on in life, and it starts from childhood. You can see it starts from childhood. And like I said earlier, Lisa says that she didn't know the point of school. So then we get into the 90s. She talks about, obviously, Danny Keough. She talked about meeting him, that, he was in a band and she thought he was hot. And she talks about some of the stuff about meeting Danny and certain things like that, and herself as a teen, and she was a bit of a rebel, and she liked leather jackets and stuff, and excuse me. Some of that stuff wasn't that interesting to me, but it got interesting again to me in chapter 5 when she talks about Michael Jackson. So she was married to Danny Keough at this time, so this is like maybe 93, 94. And she had 2 kids, Riley and Ben. And she says that one thing about Michael Jackson was, she said they started talking. Michael Jackson wanted to meet her earlier, she says, like in the 80s. And she says she did not remember her seeing the Jackson 5 in the 70s with her dad. So she says that through the 80s, a couple of times, Michael Jackson reached out to Priscilla through like agents and stuff like that, and want to meet with Priscilla. And Lisa says that it was probably in hopes that like I would come along with my mom and he could meet me. But I don't remember exactly how they met again, but they started talking during the child allegation thing. So this was like 93. And she says that one thing about Michael Jackson that a lot of people don't know is that his little high-pitched voice thing, that's just an act. Michael Jackson had trauma too. Yeah, his dad beat him. Should the high-pitched voice is an act? And I have here, nobody came close to being like her dad except for Michael Jackson. The charisma, the presence, the feeling, the way people reacted to Michael Jackson. She didn't recognize, nobody in life was like that except for her dad. And she thinks that maybe that was like part of the reasons why she felt drawn to him. One, she felt that Michael Jackson was misunderstood. And another, she felt like she could fix him and you know. So anyway, she says that Michael Jackson, she would visit him in I think it was LA, and they would hang out all the time. They clicked right away. They would talk on the phone. She says she doesn't know why, but Danny, her husband, would let her go visit Michael Jackson with her kids, Riley and Ben, and they would like be in a hotel. And because Michael Jackson, there was an earthquake in California, and Michael Jackson was like deathly afraid of earthquakes. He had like a phobia of it. So then he went to a hotel, and Lisa visited him in a hotel, and this is when the allegations for Michael Jackson were going on. And she was one of the few people that he actually spoke to. They spoke almost every other day. So she goes to spend time with him, and she's just in the hotel room, I believe it was, and they would like watch movies all the time. You know, they would really connect. And she says that like Michael Jackson turned off the lights one time because he said he was embarrassed, and says, "I have something to tell you," and says, "I really have feelings for you. I'm in love with you. I want to marry you, and I want you to have my kids." And so Lisa like was totally shocked, but she says she had feelings for him too, but she was still married, and she didn't answer him back, and she didn't know what to say, so she didn't say anything. So Michael Jackson was like, "Okay, get back to me later. I'll call you in a few days and just think about this." So Lisa Marie goes home, and man, I'm like really talking about this so much. If you haven't read the book, I don't know why you're watching right now. And that seems weird to say because I want you to watch the live stream, but this is really a giveaway. But, you know, there's like, I don't know how many chapters are in this book, but like what I found interesting may not be what you find interesting. So when you read this book yourself, there's a lot of things you might pick up that maybe weren't appealing to me, but would be interesting to you. So everybody in the stream right now, please hit the like button. Helps you grow and expand the channel and bring this live stream to other people. If you're enjoying it, give me a thumbs up. I know you are, but I just like to see the thumbs up. This is part of my Elvis collection, only half of it. The rest I got like a bunch of like Bible books and stuff like that here. But 9 chapters, David, okay. You're great, thank you. Maybe mean that about Lisa, I don't know. But anyway, okay, let's get back to it. Hit the like button if you're on here. And like I said, that helps this video reach more people. Man, I've been on over an hour. Holy crap, I thought this was gonna be like 15 minutes. And I was like, oh shoot, what do I say if I go through this after 15 minutes? Oh man, this is already an hour. Okay, so she says she goes back to, I forget where she was living at the time. Maybe it was Florida with Danny Keough. It was like 1994, 93. And so this was like, she realized, man, I really have feelings for Michael Jackson too. Keep going, you're the best. Thanks, Salvador. So she says that when she gets back to the house, Danny is like sleeping, or he's like in bed, and he doesn't suspect anything. She says, I don't even know why he trusts me being with Michael Jackson, maybe because Michael Jackson doesn't really seem like much of a lady killer. And Lisa also said, I don't have it written here, but it's just coming back to me. Lisa says that that Michael Jackson revealed to her that he was a virgin at that time. He dated Brooke Shields and stuff like that, but they never did anything. So he was a virgin. And so Danny was laying in bed and he sees Lisa in the room, and Danny's like, come in bed, come in bed. And Lisa's like, I can't. And so he knew something was up. So Danny jumped up and was like, why can't you? Tell me what's going on. Let's talk. And she, I forget, but I think that, like, I forget what was said there, but she didn't tell him, but Danny saw the writing on the wall and he's like, I'm out. She said that he packed up some of the stuff, got the dog, and left. And then then Michael Jackson called her the next day and says, okay, well, what's your answer? And again, this wasn't the high pitch. This was like the regular tone Michael Jackson voice. This wasn't the put on. And she said that she went back out to see him a lot, and he said that she said that he wanted to have sex with her, because Lisa says that he probably would want to wait till marriage, she was thinking, but he's like, no, I've waited long enough. And maybe Michael Jackson was like in his early 30s at this point. And so he had sex with her, and I guess that she was Michael Jackson's first. And what else? I'm trying to remember. So she was just totally infatuated with him, and they got married, and she says she didn't tell her mom, but as some of you know from various interviews that we've seen of Lisa Marie Presley, that that Priscilla found out because helicopters were flying over her house, and she says, like, people are saying you are married to Michael Jackson, and she's like, yep, I am. So she said the first year with Michael Jackson was great. She loved it. But then we fast forward to the MTV Music Awards, where she didn't know. But remember when Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie were at the awards and Michael Jackson just kissed her? Well, she didn't know that was coming. And after that situation, she started to think like she said, all these old thoughts started to come back to her, like, was this whole thing just for show? Was it just like you want to be with Elvis's daughter, like for like the novelty? Was this like maybe because of what you're going through right now with the allegations and stuff? So she started to get like, nah. And she started to not trust him like right away. And then she broke it off. She says that she heard from people in Michael Jackson's group that he was going to divorce her. And she got counsel that it'd be best if she divorced him first. And so she divorced him. And she says later Michael Jackson spoke to her, and she found out that Michael Jackson wasn't planning on divorcing her at all. And Michael Jackson was really upset that it happened. And so they kept contact for a few years, but they stopped in, like, I believe 97 when Lisa's plane almost went down during the History Tour. And she says also to the Michael Jackson fans that are listening right now, you might like this, that Lisa was there during the recording of the History. I think it was his story album. So, no way, that's messed up. I never heard that. Wow. I don't know what you're referring to. Well, if you don't mind me, I'm going to take a drink because I've been talking for like 70 minutes straight. And yeah, that's a lot. Don't want to swallow on mic either because I know that's cringy, but you know. Anyway, I'll just take a minute to say to all the people that are watching right now, I'm really glad that you guys like my channel and watch my channel and my videos. It takes a long time to make the videos, but it's cool because, you know, I grew up liking Elvis my whole life. And to have people, one, that I can vibe with, talk to about Elvis is really fun. And also that you guys tell me that you like the content that I put out is also cool too. Like I used to put up Elvis videos and stuff, not videos that I would make, but like, you know, certain performances on my Facebook page, my own personal stuff. And eventually I'm like, why am I doing that? And also I first started with my Elvis Instagram page because like in 2012, I wanted to follow an Elvis page. And excuse me. And they sucked. Elvis social media sucked. So I'm like, I'm going to make a page that is cool. And that's where that started. This started. But anyway, fast forward. So we're in chapter 5. We're talking about Michael Jackson. An interesting thing that Lisa Marie said is that she didn't like the sun. She didn't like it when it was sunny. She liked it when it was cloudy, rainy, stuff like that. And also, Lisa, it's like my overall view of her from reading this book is different than some of the comments that I see on, maybe various posts that I put about Lisa. I guess she would be depressed, but it's like she was a happy, joyful person trying to overcome depression. She didn't want to be, depressed. She wanted to be herself. It's like her own happy self was underneath all this crap that she had to deal with her whole life. So I see it a little differently. And it is, I feel sorry for her. And like me personally, let me know in the chat if you guys feel like me. But to those of you who have read this book or listened to the audio, and I don't really know how many people have actually done it so far. Like when I listen to Lisa's story as she's telling it, in my head, I think about like helping her, like what I would say, what I could, maybe some tips or something I could give her. Not that, I think I'm a professional or something like that, but like, does any of you think of like in your head, like helping her, like, oh man, well maybe you should look at it like this, or da, da, da. That's just something I noticed. Kylo Ren says, I'm listening to it right now. Okay, let me continue. She says that when she was doing her own records and stuff, that, so this is like 2003, 2004, 2005, that she would like feel real cringe about Elvis impersonators being at her shows. Like she'd have a show. She said she liked doing like the small shows, like small gatherings, I don't know, a bar or some little studio like that. And she said like she would feel really awkward if somebody would be there dressed as her dad, like an Elvis impersonator. She would like look out to see if like there'd be a lot of people like that there. She says she loved fans of her dad, and she'd really try to put a lot of effort into talking to them and taking pictures, doing whatever the Elvis fans of her dad wanted her to do, and she was very grateful for that. But she felt really awkward around Elvis impersonators at her shows, I'll say. And so this is so like I said, from 1996 to 2006, there's like hardly anything from Lisa on this. So earlier, the people that were not with me this whole time, this whole hour and 15 minutes I've been on, Lisa took audio. She didn't write everything down. She just took like audio recordings, whether it be like a cassette tape or like something on her iPhone or whatever. And Riley went through these recordings. Well, there's not much from really 2000, from 1999 from 1996 after she got with Michael Jackson, like broke up with Michael Jackson, to 2006. So during that time, she had twins. She started her recording life, basically. And she doesn't really talk too much about it. And Riley thinks, because Riley chimes in this audiobook too, she kind of fills in that 10 years. And I think the chapter is called 10 years. And she kind of fills in the gaps. And I wish Lisa would have talked about it, because like I said, I wanted to hear like what her idea was about recording and stuff like that. And there's some interesting stuff that she mentioned about, she made a demo in like the early 90s of an Aretha Franklin cover. And I actually heard that demo. It was on, I don't remember the name of the program, but it was like in 2003 in promotion for her Lights Out album and single. She was on Diane Sawyer. And I remember I was watching, this was 2003, and in the little interview documentary thing in promotion for it, she's talking to Lisa, and they play the demo of Lisa covering the Aretha Franklin song, and it was so good. And when she brought this up in the book, that demo, I was like searching on YouTube to see if I can find it, and I couldn't find it. So if you guys happen to find that little demo, it's incredible. Her voice is so good, and it makes me think like maybe Lisa didn't get the right material, because she could sing so good, and she talks about being so shy about this demo. But she says the demo got out, and like people are coming to her, like Michael Jackson, Prince was coming to her, like trying to help her with her recording career, and she didn't want any help from any celebrity. She kind of wanted to just do it on her own. And later on, Lisa's at the end of her life, towards the end of her life, she's like, man, I was a failure in music. I was a failure, da 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 da. And personally, I think that the reason why her recording career didn't take off the way I think it could have is because she kind of missed her time. She started her career when she was like in her mid-30s, in like 2003, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that was maybe 10 years too late. If she would have started earlier when this demo came out, like 92, 93, 94, she was in her mid-20s, I think she would have been way more successful. But that's just a little side note. Thanks for everybody watching. Rebel says, Lisa had a tough life, but some of it she chose, whatever the reasons. Yeah, I do agree. You know, but at the same time, I'm not saying you are, but I try not to be judgmental, because it's like, I feel like if I, in my head, when I listen to her story, when I inject myself in her shoes, I'm like, oh, I'll just do this, this, and this, and this, and this. But it's like, you don't know what it would be like to live her life. Like, if your dad, like, well, my dad died and it wasn't that bad. Well, okay, but were you 9? Was your dad like the most famous person on the planet? There's like a lot of things to factor in. So I don't feel like, and I'm not judging you, I'm just thinking like, if we had her exact life, would we handle it so much better, you know? But anyway, where was I? So wrapping it up, I'm on the last page and a half. And this is actually some interesting stuff. So this is when things started to go downhill for Lisa. So she didn't do any drugs after her teenage years. And I suspect it's probably mostly because of Scientology. She didn't even do like Advil. She didn't do nothing. She didn't have an epidural with Riley. I think she resisted it for a while. Like, she was anti-pill, I don't want to say it too many times, but anti-drug. She wouldn't take nothing. But things changed for her. Okay, she just drank. She would drink like socially. Maybe she would get drunk, but she was just kind of a drinker, you know, and that could explain why she was a little heavier than she wanted to be. Because, you know, she starts drinking a bit, extra calories from drinking, and then she wants to eat a little more. That's just my thoughts. You know, back in the time where her recording career was going on. She says in the book that she would always get like, she would get hammered a bit because she'd be overweight at times. Not overweight, but, you know, not perfectly trim, you know. So this is when things actually started to go bad for Lisa. She says she always felt like inside her, she had the propensity to be an addict, but she just never did, because she always stayed away from it. Well, she says that so she had her kids, the twins, when was that? 2006, 2007, 2008. And she was prescribed narco. She was prescribed narco for pain because she had a C-section. She had kids a little later. I think she was like 40 when she had kids. She was like 40, and she was prescribed narco for pain. And she says that Riley says, because Riley fills in this point, she says that she always had like a big entourage, like a group of people, a maid, a couple nannies, people all over the place that she was close to and that she trusted and that cared about her. But things began to turn, and maybe it's because of the pill she was starting to take, because she was starting to get addicted. Riley says that Lisa started to notice that her credit cards were being overcharged, like, you know, not in a crazy way, but like she would get bills like, why did this person get all these pizzas? Or why did you get so many of this? Like, this is not anything like malicious or criminal, but it was like, just like too much. What's going on with you guys? And so these thoughts started to creep back into her head that she was just being used by these people, and she started to get very suspicious of the people around her. This was like the late 2000s, 2006, 7, 8. You know, if you calculate the timeline, it'd be just after her twins were born. She started to think that people were just taking advantage of her. And for some reason, she just started to, her remedy for this was she was just kicking everybody out of her life. Friends out of her life, the people that she had working for her, she was like, gone, bye, bye. And she said she learned about ghosting people from Michael Jackson. And for those of you who are watching right now and who will come across this video, actually at the 80-minute mark, who will get this far into the video, and let me say you're a true fan if you really are. Excuse me. Ghosting means like you just like a ghost. Like you can't see a ghost. Well, you can't see me. You can't, like, we're done. Like I just stopped taking your calls. She ghosted everybody, most people in her life. So she had like no support group. She even got rid of her religion, which was Scientology. And so it was just her and her kids. She was married to, what was her husband's name? The guy with the long hair and the top hat, I forget. But her husband at the time, I know in the comments you guys will tell me. She said that Riley says that Lisa just had a little group, no religion, and Scientology, which I'm not for, in which Elvis's inner circle says Elvis wasn't for. They just wanted his money, they say. Elvis's viewpoint on Scientology was. One of the good things about that is that they're very anti-drug, anti-pill, and that's what kept Lisa clean. So when she kicked all these people out of her lives and her support group and people that, you know, even friends that she would be accountable to, when she started to get doing these drugs that were prescribed by her doctors, there was nobody that would like check her, like, hey, what are you doing? Except for her little family. So that presented a problem, and Riley is narrating this part in the book. So around chapter like 5, 6, she started taking opioids that were prescribed after C-section. And one thing that I thought was very interesting, and I posted this on my Facebook. If you guys, little plug, Elvis is the Man Facebook. It's called David's Elvis is the Man page on Facebook. I can like write little status updates and posts. And I wrote this last night when I came across it. Lisa says that life was too painful to live sober. So she was hooked on, you know, these opioids and stuff like that. And if she were just to stop cold turkey, which like was her her type of personality, her withdrawal would be way too hard. And so she would like stay on these, and when she would be off, it's like all her emotions, all this, everything was just like too much. So she wanted to be a little doped up. Well, she got to the point where she was taking 80 pills a day, she says in the book. And so she says her first real high, and like I said earlier when you watch this back, she did cocaine, she did weed, but she says her first real high came at 40 years old when she took narco in the hospital. And she was like, whoa, oh my gosh. And she liked it. And she says she liked being high because it just made everything good. Like it made her happy. It made her feel like her real self. And I'm beginning to think this would be pretty interesting. Like this is like an audiobook in and of itself. In a way, you get to hear, you know, my take on it. Like I'd kind of like to listen to this back. It's like if you guys just listen to this and like had to go do something and like put on your headphones. Not that it replaces the book in any way, but it's pretty interesting. I'm really going through everything that I thought was interesting in the book. But obviously, get the book because there's things in there that maybe I didn't bring out that you would think is cool that I don't necessarily think. But I definitely recommend you getting it, and I'm actually going to get my hard copy too. Like I said earlier, she says she didn't do any drugs since she was a teenager, not even Advil. She says that like she was always holding her addiction at bay because she was so busy. Because like I said, she felt deep down that she probably had maybe a propensity to get addicted to things like that, like maybe her dad, maybe it could be her heredity or stuff, but she felt like it was always kind of there, but she never released it in a sense because she would always keep it at bay by with marriages, having kids, you know, because she had Riley, Ben, and then she had twins. You know, she's always busy during that. She's busy with her career, Scientology. So she like didn't get into anything after her teenage years. So let me see what else I have here. This is now we're getting into like 2014 to 2023. So Lisa, like Riley says that Lisa was always trying to like recapture the love that she felt from her dad and like that atmosphere that she had as a kid. Like her dad had the nice big house. Her dad had that nice scenic property in the South with all the Southerners and that warm feeling. She said she was always trying to recapture that. And, you know, she would go to Graceland. This is the last couple years of her life. She would just go and like lay on her dad's floor upstairs just to like feel like some comfort, like some connection to him. She would just be upstairs in the room. Tours would be going on downstairs, but she would be upstairs, maybe staying the night in the bed or just in his room. She describes it as like just laying on the carpeting, like maybe it would be like sort of a hug for her dad, but it was like she just wanted that love that she felt when she was 0 to 9. So I say that to say that she would like move, she wanted to have that life again, and she thought that maybe she could recreate it by having kids again and the twins, and so she would go live in England and stay around the house and have a garden and stuff like that. But that's when her addiction started to like increase, and Riley and Ben were starting to get scared, and Riley says she noticed her mom's personality would change, where her mom and her would like, they'd have a fight, but they would make up. Well, Lisa would like stay angry with her and not make peace like before, and they started to know differences in her personality, and that made me think of Elvis. You know, like his close inner circle noticed a change in his personality when he was hooked. So fast forward to the last couple of years, Lisa wanted to move to Nashville to so this is like 2015, 16, 17, I think. She wanted to move to Nashville to be close to Graceland and to maybe work on her recording career. But they couldn't find a place yet in Nashville, so they lived in California. Lisa did, in California, and that's where her house was, you know, as we know. And as they were looking for the right spot in Nashville, and I think I'm getting that right. Basically, Lisa was starting to have problems with her health, pains in her stomach. She would run fever sometimes. And I don't think I said this, but when she was, she went to rehab. Okay, this is a little farther. She was doing 80 pills a day. And I guess this is kind of random, but she talks about Ben dying. I'm jumping over the place of it. Let me finish the one thought. So she was texting on a group text Ben and Riley and saying that she doesn't feel right. You guys need to come out here soon, because like her feet were swelling up, her head was swelling up. She knew her blood pressure was high. She ended up, long story short, so maybe she was in Nashville. Yeah, she was in Nashville, but she didn't want to go to the doctors there because she thought that she had her twins, and the Nashville laws, she says, were tougher. And if the authorities knew that she thought her kids would be taken away, basically. So she wanted to go to California because the laws weren't like that there, I guess. And she had her own set of doctors. So the next day, Riley got her a bus and they drove to California. Well, by the time she got to, and she says that like Lisa wanted to just do coke on she did the whole way to California to the doctors, and she didn't want to take a plane there because she knows she wouldn't be able to do coke on a plane. So she was pretty involved in this addiction. So she gets there and her beats per minute, Lisa's, is 30 beats a minute. And the doctor says that she was having heart failure. And this is crazy. Riley says that Lisa's head was swollen twice the size. And I assume that was the water retention. And she was getting help in California, Lisa was, and Ben and Riley were there. And Lisa chose to get bariatric surgery in rehab. That's the surgery that we know that she had complications from a few years later, which caused her death. And Riley thought that, like, hey, if you're trying to like get sobered up, like this is kind of a weird time. You're in rehab and you want to have bariatric surgery right now. So Riley's thinking like, do you just want to have the surgery right now so you can get back on some pills? They'll prescribe you pills. And she said it was easy for her to get pills, just like it was for Elvis to get pills. So she had the bariatric surgery when she was in rehab. And I'm thinking this was like 2017, 2018. At this point, Lisa was real, like, she was really into her addiction. And like me and you, we didn't really know about this at the time. And then we get to Ben. And like I said, I'm just going to tell you the whole graphic stuff. This is really telling you exactly what she says. I'm not sugarcoating it. But so she said that like Ben, they were a little concerned about Ben because he would drink a lot and he would go on like benders where I guess he would drink a lot. I don't remember if they said he did any type of drugs. I'm thinking he probably did, but I don't remember exactly. But I do know that he would drink for like 3, 4, 5 days at a time, maybe a week, and then they'd be concerned, Riley and Lisa, but then they would kind of be like, maybe he's okay, because right when Ben would be done, he'd go back to the way he was and not drink for a long time and eat real healthy and work out. So they weren't too worried about him. Like they were always concerned about their mom, Lisa. But Ben texts Lisa and says that like he thinks that he has some mental health issues, but none of them suspected that he would, like, I don't want to say too many wrong words on YouTube, but that nobody suspected that he would unalive himself. Okay, they were very surprised. So what happened is he shot himself, and Riley was the first to find out about it. And I forgot how she found out, but like she went to Lisa's house, and she was like banging on Lisa's door, and whoever Lisa had in the room with her, like some type of security, says, no, you can't come in. Lisa doesn't want you in. Finally, she heard Lisa come to the door, and she told her mom. They were all surprised, obviously. And this is the interesting thing. So Lisa, to help with her grieving, she spoke to the morgue, and the morgue let her have Ben in her house with her for 2 months, because the laws in California are different. I guess you don't have to bury somebody like right away. And this was also during COVID, and everybody was like locked down. Oh man, maybe not a word I want to say on YouTube either. But everybody was, it was a little different world, a few years ago. And another thing before I move on, and this is the gruesome details, but she wanted to go in to see Ben in his room, but the officers wouldn't let her. And when Ben came out in a body bag, they're like, well, we don't really do this, but we'll let you do this. And they zipped the face down. And Riley says that Ben's face was not, like, I guess the gunshot was not in the front, obviously. And his face looked okay. She said like he just had like a black eye, and he had a little like smirk on his face, but he looked good. Like he didn't look, bad. And she said that Lisa was like, what did you do? And she said that she got blood on her hands because like the actual gunshot wound was on the back side of his head. Some of you may not like these details, but this is what was in the book. So some of you actually would like to hear these type of details. But she said that the morgue let her keep Ben in the house for like 2 months, but they said you have to keep the temperature at 55 degrees, which they did. And that one thing Riley brought up was like they wanted matching tattoos because I think Ben had like, it said Lisa or maybe Riley on his collarbone, and on his hand it said Lisa, his mom. So they got one of like Ben, like in the exact same spot on themselves. Riley and Lisa did, and they actually had a tattoo artist to do it, but they wanted to have it exactly how he wrote it. So they had the tattoo guy come in the house and look at Ben while he was in the room, you know, and look at it and do the tattoo. And Riley thought that was very weird, but like she says that Lisa wanted it that way to have him not buried right away because first they didn't know whether to bury him in Hawaii, which is his favorite place. And also they didn't know if they were going to have him at Graceland or not. So there was some debate on that. And so they just had him, and it helped. Riley says that Lisa told the morgue that it helped her deal with Elvis because Elvis was in the house for a couple days before he was buried. And so she wanted that for Ben, but that was a long time, 2 months. So fast forward, I'm gonna have to grab my charger because I'm on like 5% battery. So she felt like Ben was speaking to her through, what's the word? When you speak to telepathically, and what else? So after the 6 month that Ben died, everybody stayed in the house, and it was easy to do that. Like Riley, the twins, Lisa, because it was during the lockdowns, and it was easy to stayed in the house. And excuse me, Lisa said that there could be no talking about anything other than Ben, and all they talked about for 6 months was Ben. And they were thinking like, why did he do that to himself? And he probably regretted it when it happened, and he didn't really mean to do it. And they think that if he wasn't drinking at the time, he wouldn't have done it. And so then it talks about, and I actually remember where I was. And then it talks about Lisa, and I was actually on a plane from Las Vegas headed back to my home state when this was going down. And Riley talks about how Danny, Lisa asked Danny to bring over some Tums because she was always having problems with her stomach, but she never went to the doctor. She would always resist going to the doctors. I don't understand why. Some people are like that, but she just would never go to the doctors, and this is the problem that she had with her stomach for a little while. I think she probably could have been fixed or dealt with if she would have went to the doctors. But she kept putting it off. She would run fevers, and they were afraid that she was going to die. And Lisa was talking to Riley a lot about her depression and how she felt like she has nothing to live for. She was a failure at everything. She feels like, who am I even? Lisa says that she would look back at pictures of herself just before, or maybe when she was like 3, 4, 5 years old, of her and her mom, and that photo shoot where they had matching dresses on. Some of you know what I'm talking about. And she's like, wow, that was the real me. I was like, that was like before everything happened. And she says that she eventually was like, what am I living for? But I got to live for Riley and for my grandchild and for my 2 twins. But like, I want to keep living, but it's so hard, and I got to live for them. And so she found helping other people deal with grief. And she said that some people were saying that I was about to unalive myself, but I read what you said and I didn't, so thank you. And that was making her feel good. And so I say that to say that when Riley got the call that Lisa was in the hospital from her dad, Danny, that she knew it wasn't good, and that she feels like, because she was having cardiac arrest, and Riley was thinking that, man, my mom, she might just check out. This may just be her opportunity. She's having a hard time hanging on anyway, and so eventually, Riley got a text from her dad because Riley says that her dad, Danny, didn't want her to find out any other way, and Riley was flying at the time, and he couldn't call her, so he's like, I hate to tell you through text, but your mom is, you know, in another dimension. So she said she was really sad about that, and Lisa says that she was like just trying to, she was like getting better as far as her, she didn't bring up like the Elvis movie or how she was happy about that or how she lost weight for the Elvis movie, or nothing about the movie was brought up during that time period when we're talking about the last maybe 6 months of Lisa's life. Or it's actually kind of funny now that I think nothing was brought up about how happy Lisa was about the movie being made, and having Austin come to Graceland and stuff like that, and have her dad be remembered in the right way on a movie. But I guess maybe that wasn't really that important as you look at the whole scope of Lisa's life. But let me take one break. I've been on here like an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes. If you guys want me to keep going, give me a thumbs up. That's pretty much all for the book. I'm just going to go to the bathroom really quick, and I'm going to get a charger to plug in because my phone's about to die, and I'd like to actually not just talk, but like talk to you guys now. So hit the like button, give me 2-3 minutes, go to the bathroom yourself or whatever, and I got to plug in my phone and stuff, so hang on one sec. Elvis is the man. Back. Okay, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? I had to take out the actual mic because I had to plug in my charger. If you want to see what's going on. Always. So, can you guys hear me? You can barely hear me. No, I don't have, this is just the sound from my actual phone. I got to unplug the microphone. So, I don't want to get off just yet. I want to talk to you guys. Any questions you have for me or anything? Because I literally, yeah, sorry. Very low. Okay, yeah, sorry, I can't really help that. I gotta let my phone charge. If you give me 10 minutes, my phone will charge good enough to where, if you give me 10 minutes, I'll charge up my phone a bit so I can plug in my actual mic. But whoa, I spoke for like an hour and 40 minutes. Anybody ever do that? Holy moly. Hi David, I can hear you. That's good. What's up, man? Turn my volume up and can hear fine. Okay, cool. Take your time, son. We're here with you. Thanks, son. Okay, so What do you guys think? Are you Taurus? I don't know. Is that like a month you're born in? Oh man, that was exhausting. I hope people go back and watch this live stream because now I don't really want to make a video. I'm like tired from that. I said I'd probably do a live stream and also make a video, but man, I don't want to make a video anymore. I'm tired. 87 people watching. Only lost 40 people. Not true fans. You missed the whole thing? Oh man, you got to go back and listen to it if you have like 2 hours to. You can't hear me? Sorry. So I'm just letting my phone charge a bit. It's at 5%. I didn't want to die, and then this wouldn't have been uploaded. I didn't want the phone to die, and then this wouldn't be uploaded. But I'm just going to let it charge. Maybe get some 15% or something. I'll put on the mic. But I just want to talk to you guys a little longer since, you know. Okay, did I see Priscilla went to Riley Memphis book event? I didn't know it was in Memphis, but yeah, I did see Priscilla there, and I'm thinking, why does Riley want her there? Especially when she finds out that what she let Mike Edwards do. I don't know why she would want Riley there. Or I don't know why Riley would want Priscilla there. Maybe it's part of like Priscilla's going to help her run things. You know, maybe she's like, man, I can't really get her out of my life. She needs to help me. Thanks so much for the info. I enjoy your videos. I'm glad. I was sick that she showed her face. Yeah, you know, so I just been listening to the audiobook. I haven't seen any of the media that Riley's done. I did see about, I know, all the sound, somebody says. I'm just letting my phone charge. Did I see Linda's post? No, I didn't. I haven't seen any of the media that Riley's done. I just been watching the book. I didn't even see the Oprah interview. Look forward to watching my videos. Thanks. I'm happy to hear because they take a long time, so make sure you watch them. How do you guys like the vertical format? Are most of you guys on your phone? Because if you're watching on like a laptop, it's not as good. But if you're looking at your phone right now, it's better. Let me know if you guys are mostly on your phone. I would suspect that you are. Denise says, yeah. Richie says, thanks, David. You're welcome. November Bat. Always TCB, the Elvis something. I'm on my PC. Okay, that's not as good. Been watching since the Elvis movie, man. Keep it up. All right. Michelle's on her phone. I'm on a laptop with a sound bar. Okay. So that means like you got a big screen, but then there's a slit of me. If you're on your phone, you just get to see it. But you're on your tablet and it's fine. That's cool. The audio is not so good, but my phone's at 9%. I'll plug in my mic when it gets more, but I can't let my phone die because then this live stream won't even be uploaded. Man, that was tiring doing all that. How many, somebody, give me a thumbs up if you've been on since the beginning or like since the first 10 minutes. Give me the thumbs up to the people who've been on with me the whole time. Or at least most of the whole time. Over an hour. Give me a thumbs up if you've been on over an hour. Yep, David, a little sliver of you. Met Ann Margaret years back. She's in hell. I mean, in Hull. Whoops, okay. Denise has been on for a long time. Give me a thumbs up, like I said, if you've been on here for at least an hour. I want to know. Tam and Jerry have been on. There's a window right here. Can this be pulled up and watch again? Yes. Once I get off, I'm going to upload it, and you can watch the whole thing. And like after like 10 minutes, it'll be in like perfect quality. The first couple minutes will be like, you know, not good quality. Deborah's been on the whole time. Chaplin has been on at least for an hour. Whoa, man. Music says thank you. Cool Creative Build channel. Are those Elvis books? Yeah, I got a ton of Elvis books. I'll show you guys some of them. This is only some of them. So the top row is like my books. I have more than this. They're just not there. I just don't have them there yet. These are like a lot of my FTDs. A lot of stuff. So some of my favorite stuff is right there. Leanne gives me a thumbs up. That means she's been on most of the time. Hello, Rebel. I think that's what you said. Love, love, love the Follow That Dream series. Yeah, his voice was so good. Even though it was like maybe a corny movie, I wouldn't say corny movie, but it was still. Excuse me, sorry. But it was still fun to watch. Follow That Dream is a good song, and Angel's a good song, and it's just a happy movie. Full Elvis library, love it. Yeah, I have a ton of books. I have more stuff that's not even up here. So people are like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Trust me, I do. I mean, I don't like come off and say arrogantly, oh, I'm an Elvis historian. Like, you know, some people say they're Elvis historians. I'm just an Elvis fan that likes to share Elvis with other fans. But I guess, you know, like somebody said that if you spend like 10,000 hours listening or reading about something, you're an expert on it. So I don't know. Do you have Jerry Schilling's book? Yes. Oh no! Started falling. Yes, Jerry Schilling's book. It was a good one. Okay. Listening to him crack up behind the scenes. In case you're wondering what I'm doing. What's up? Say hi to the camera. He doesn't like that. I'm trying to show you guys my dog, but he got scared. You need Elvis bookends. Yeah, I don't have any bookends up there. Saw Elvis in Providence, 1976. Whoa, old school Elvis fan there. Yeah, I need bookends. I do, I need more of them though. Kathy Westmoreland's book is so expensive. Luckily, somebody gave me a PDF for free. So those of you who are still watching, I'm just letting my phone charge, so I don't have the mic on right now because you can't plug two things into your phone. I'm on a phone right now. Oh man, so did you guys like that book review? Holy, Rare Elvis Photos Stream is reading the book about Kathy and Elvis, chapter by chapter. That's illegal. What do I think about Rob Kingsley? I don't even know who that is. Loved it, bro. I'm glad. Remember, I've seen Elvis there 3 times at concert, once in Nassau Coliseum. Oh, I would have loved to see Elvis in Nassau Coliseum. What's going on with Priscilla? I have no idea, and I don't care. How was Priscilla the last one to be living? I'll go back to like your stream, but did you like it? Yeah, I really liked it. Have I seen the trailer for the new Bob Dylan biopic? No, but I'll probably watch it if I have time. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. Your thoughts on Elvis movie being mostly inaccurate? I don't think it was mostly inaccurate. I'm one of the, I mean, You can watch my review. I did a bunch of reviews on it 2 years ago. So if you just scroll down on my page, you'll see the reviews of what I said about it. But I don't think it was inaccurate. It was inaccurate in the sense that maybe everything wasn't in perfect chronological order. But like, I think we have to keep in mind that it's a movie, and they're trying to make a good movie. There wasn't things that happened in there that weren't like real life. If you want to be more specific. I wonder if Baz will release a longer version. He said he will, but it won't be for a year in the future, so. Old school here. I saw Elvis in concert 74, 75, 76, 77 in North Carolina. Oh, that'd be awesome. Lisa says that. Lisa Johnson. Man, I'd love to see Elvis in concert. Baz has more content coming out. Can't wait. Me neither. It'd be awesome. It's what we've been waiting for. Riley's in London tonight? '50s Elvis to see, yeah. My grandma said that she saw Elvis on Ed Sullivan in the '50s and she just about fell off her couch. Elvis was never better than 1969? True. But some of the songs were better after 1969. So maybe if you saw Elvis, maybe November 1970. I think 1969 was great because he had great focus. There were no throwaways yet. Should I start doing more live streams? Get on a little more often? Yes. The Cool Creative Build channel says yes. Alright, my phone's at 21%, and I'll plug in my microphone pretty soon so you guys can hear me better. I enjoyed the live stream, so yes, good. Oprah says she's a relative. I don't know about that. My favorite movie, my least favorite movie? My least favorite movie, I'd probably say off the top of my head, is Clam Bake. Maybe not. What's the one where he wears like that black turtleneck a lot? He's like skinny, he's not overweight. What's that movie? Rare Elvis Photos is also reading Child Bride. I did a ton of videos on Child Bride. Easy Come, Easy Go. Yeah, that's like one of the most boring movies. Yoga is as yoga does. I don't like that one. My best movie is like, I would say if I were to show Elvis to somebody that he's like a really good actor, I would say King Creole. That's probably like the best made movie. I guess I'll say that. But I also like movies that you wouldn't really think. Like I really like Wild in the Country. I like Flaming Star. I like Follow That Dream. I don't really like Love Me Tender. Change of Habit's good. Yeah, it's interesting to see Elvis with a hairstyle that's not a pompadour. You can tell in the movie he's playing Lottie Miss Claudie on the piano. Should I do a live stream on Facebook after this? Oh man, maybe I will. That's the way it is. Yeah, that's actually a movie. That was like his 31st movie. I think the 37th one was Elvis on Tour. Easy come, easy go, turtleneck, yeah. I think maybe I'll go to Facebook after this and do a live stream for Facebook. Oh man, I'll be so tired after doing all these live streams. Holy crap. I can't imagine going through all that stuff again. Not on Facebook, don't do Facebook. I feel like it's a new audience. How many people on here are on Facebook? Don't do Facebook? Do I think Elvis would have eventually gotten rid of Colonel Parker? Yeah, I do think so. Michelle's on Facebook, that's good. Helen's on Facebook, I appreciate that. Mary Tyler Moore on Change of Habit was gorgeous. Not my cup of tea. Deborah's on Facebook, Lisa's on Facebook. That's good. Ruby's on Facebook. I'm happy about that. Last summer they deleted my Facebook. Meta did. I was at 53,000. That made me so mad, but I had to rebuild it, and it sucks. Imagine what Elvis would think of the internet. Probably cool. Do I think Elvis would have won an Oscar if he did Star is Born? I think they did win Oscars for that, right? Chris Christopherson, he just died, right? Just subscribe to your channel. Thanks, Lisa. You just made a good choice for your life. Will Priscilla be buried at Graceland? At the moment, yes, she will. November Bat is on David's Elvis is the Man page on Facebook. I would assume everybody on here is getting Lisa's book. Are you guys going to get the audio book or the actual physical book, pages and all that? But there's no room in the meditation garden? I don't know. You know, I was at Lisa's funeral in 2023 in January, and the one thing I didn't do was I did not look at her grave because I had to catch a flight, and I was there, I was right there. You know, you guys can check out the video of Lisa's memorial. I actually documented it. I did not visit her grave, but I meant to go back. Like last summer I meant to go back, this summer I meant to go back, even in October, like this month I meant to go back, but crazy things keep happening to where I just wasn't able to go, so that's the one thing I haven't done. But Lisa's funeral was awesome. Richie, the audiobook has clips of Lisa Marie's recordings. Yep, that's true. I mentioned that in this live stream. We're losing a lot of people who knew Elvis. Yeah, so somebody mentioned and made me think about it. So the people who actually really knew Elvis that are still alive is Jerry Schilling, Billy Smith, Priscilla. Who else? I'm missing somebody. Priscilla. Billy Smith. Jerry Schilling. Who else? There's one more person. Larry Geller. Put her next to Rising Sun at Graceland. Linda, oh yeah, Linda Thompson. Come to the 90th birthday, that should be awesome. I've been meaning to come back, it's just weird stuff's happened. Mindy Miller. Ginger. Yeah, duh. Yeah, Ginger. Yeah, the Stanley brothers, yeah, but I mean, did they really know him? They were like little kids. And Margaret. Yeah, I guess she's still alive, yeah. What about Dee's children? I don't, yeah, right. Spa guy. I don't know. I met Ricky Stanley in the 80s. I met David Stanley last year. That was pretty cool. I made a video on that. If you guys check that out. Sam Thompson, yeah. The Stanleys pretend to know him. I don't know. I mean, they were around Elvis since 1960. Then they were on tour with him. They knew Elvis. James Burton, yeah. Jerry Schiff, Kathy Westmoreland. Helen, I have the physical book, but we'll get the audio book. Yeah, I mean, you guys are missing something if you just get the book. You got to get the audio book. Man, I'm thinking I should probably do a Facebook live after this. Oh man, but that'll be so taxing. Oh man, I never knew talking for so long could be so, whoa. Oh man. You'll see me there, Ray? Okay, I think I'm gonna do it. I don't plan on doing it for as long. I've never done a live stream on Facebook, but maybe, I think I'm gonna do it. Maybe I won't do it as long, I don't know. Maybe I'll have more people watching than on YouTube, who knows? Have you been on long? Yeah, I've been on 126 minutes. Do I know what happened to Al Strada? No, he's kind of out of the limelight. I would like him to write a book, though. Want to see something I got at Graceland? Got this little souvenir at Graceland. Yeah, 126 minutes, yep. Probably the next 10 years we're going to lose everybody, if you think about it. Except for Ginger. Did Vester write a book? I don't know, I don't think so. Wonder how Graceland was when it first opened as a museum. So we're talking like before 1982? Didn't Priscilla's parents live into their hundreds? I don't know. It's 2:30 where I'm at. 65 people still watching, that's nice. Was there in 1989, or I was there in 1989 when, then I went back every year for the longest time. I have not been there. I saw Elvis's, I went through the house, his mansion in 2020, and it was so cool because like nobody was there. And then I was back. Vester has a book. Oh man, I gotta read that. Should have left the red decor in Graceland. That's how it was when Elvis passed. Yeah, Priscilla changed that. Priscilla's mom was 95 when she died. Well, I guess I better end the live stream. I think I'm going to go to Facebook after this and just kill two birds with one stone. Maybe I'll do a video too, maybe tomorrow or the next day about this, maybe like just 10-15 minutes, just consolidate everything. But really good live, thanks Leanne, and I see your comments underneath my videos. Thanks for watching them. I kind of want to stay on long because I never really do live streams too much. But I'm almost at, whoa, I'm actually over 2 hours. Holy crap, a 2 hour and 10-minute live stream. Whoa. Let us know when you're going to do a live. Thanks for the live stream, man. I'm glad you guys liked it. Richie, thanks again. David, you're welcome. If you guys want more, go to Facebook. I'm going to do a live stream on Facebook in probably 5 minutes. I got to let my dogs out and stuff. But I'm glad everybody watched this and liked it. I really like the book. I encourage you guys to get the book. Get the book and the audiobook if you have like an iPhone or something like that. It's really cool to get the book because you get to hear Riley, you get to hear Lisa, her Roseanne. See you on Facebook. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you guys go back and rewatch this. And I'll try to do live streams in the future. But until then, please subscribe to my Facebook. Watch the videos that I've been putting out. I hope you enjoyed them, and go to Instagram and Facebook as well. And I post there daily on Instagram and Facebook, a couple times a week on YouTube. But all right, thanks to everybody who watched. All right, how do I end this without canceling everything? All right, talk to you guys.